The stigma often associated with special education classes and learning disabilities certainly can be demoralizing. Many children end up acting out. Some eventually drop out. In fact, many do. One determined young man, though, said, nope, I'm going to stay the course. It certainly was not easy, though.
So we get in class together. Everything is good. I get in algebra 1, and I get a call to the office. And I'm like, it's the first day of school. There's no way I'm in trouble already. So I go down to the office. I sit down. The guidance counselor talks to me, and she hands me a new schedule. And on this new schedule is special education English, special education math, and the 2 other special education classes. Pretty much my whole day was going to be in the special education room.
Well, Ronnie graduated high school at the bottom of his class with a 1.8 GPA, but he beat the odds. He beat the odds by earning his master's degree with a GPA of 3.5. Now he's sharing the experience in a best-selling graphic novel. It's called Nelson Beats the Odds. Welcome author and therapist Ronnie Sidney. When I said that, it gave me goosebumps to say, look at him, master's degree. First of all, congratulations. How does it feel to be a best-selling author?
It feels wonderful just to have a product that people enjoy and are actually willing to pay money for. It's probably the best feeling in the world.
And to see your book on the shelves, I can imagine. What has the response been from your kids and your patients?
Oh, the response from the kids has just been overwhelming. Just for them to have a book that they can see themselves in, and they can identify with a character like Nelson, who's not the perfect child, who has his own struggles, but also has a lot of success.
If you don't mind, because I think it'll reach other people to share your experience, tell me a little bit about your first day of high school.
My first day of high school was the greatest day ever. I had just left middle school, and I thought I left special education. And I was in class with my friends, and, you know, we were just cutting up, really having a good time. And it was around the end of the day, I was in algebra class, and I was called to the office, and I was just concerned that I was in trouble. But when I got to the office, it wasn't because I was in trouble. It was because my schedule had changed, and I was placed in the self-contained special education room. And for me, it was almost like demoralizing. I felt really defeated, and I went home, and my dad told me that I cried, which I didn't remember. And I told him that I just wanted out of special ed altogether.
And you set yourself up to do that, and it took time. It took time. It took patience. It took sacrifice. Along the way, you had people that supported you, for sure. And we know we can't do this kind of thing alone. But I also know that there were some folks that were less than supportive. What would you say to those people now, the ones that were cruel, maybe not supportive, maybe even called you names?
Well, I would like to thank them. For me, a lot of my motivation came externally. So the people who doubted me, the people who thought I was learning disabled, or the people who, you know, stigmatized me, they really gave me that fuel. I had an 8th grade teacher who told me and the whole class that none of us were going to college. And for me, I had to wear that chip on my shoulder and had to prove to him and to prove to anyone who thought I couldn't achieve and that people with disabilities can't achieve wrong.
Well, and you've been having to prove yourself ever since. You get a master's degree, and then, of course, you know, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be automatically successful. Talk to me about your Kickstarter campaign, because I understand there were some challenges along the way there.
Yes. Well, I was really ambitious. I started the book project. I didn't really know how much money I needed. So the illustrator gave me a price, which was pretty high. I'm just working full-time, a dad. Really just struggling financially, but so I started a Kickstarter campaign, and I set this goal of $10,000. My girlfriend told me I was a bit unrealistic, and you know, at the end of the campaign, I only raised $1,800, and with Kickstarter, you don't get any of the money, and I was just hurt. I was like, I have all these Facebook friends and family, and I couldn't raise $10,000. So I just went ahead and restarted the campaign for $1,800. And actually raised that money, so that was pretty good.
Congratulations. You pushed through. You pushed through. And not only did you push through, you have a second book. Tamika has a new dress. I have to tell you, you're an Amazon best-selling author now. You've overcome so many odds. Ronnie, thank you for sharing your story here. We hope it's an encouragement to somebody who's maybe facing the same challenge that you did all those years ago.
Thank you.
We're very proud of the work you do. Thanks for joining us today. All right, we are